Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's Politi-tics on a Saturday night. I'm your host, Jake Johnson. How are you doing this fine, rainy Saturday? Welcome to the show. Come on in, take your shoes off, set a spell, wiggle your toes. It's going to be great. Squatch Stomper gets the gold star. You're the first in chat again. Gold star for you, bully, Squatch Stomper. Amanda says, here's your gold star, Squatch. Hi, chat. How you doing? Good to see you all. Hi, Jake. How are you tonight? Heart, smiley face. Fantastic. Can't be better. Can't complain. Don't know what I would do if I did complain. Don't know who I'd complain to. But been a pretty good day. I've got a nice hot cup of coffee and a wonderful disposition. Now, don't you want to have a nice hot cup of coffee with me? Go to the kitchen and pour yourself a nice hot cupper and come join the show. If you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one. It's lovely, albeit the second one is pretty nice too. So get your merch and come on in and let's talk some politics, baby. Patty Donahue in the house from Tennessee. She says, hi, Amanda. White power. I think that's what that means. I'm not sure. Amanda says, hi, Patty. Patty says, what part are you from there? What parts are you from there, Amanda? Amanda says, I'm from Florida. Home of the hurricanes. Home of the fee and land of the slave. I mean, something like that. Patty says, oh, okay. I'm from Tennessee. Patty says, where are you from? Amanda says, where are you from, Patty? And Patty says, oh, hey, I'm back. I'm from Tennessee. See, I told you. Patty says, Jake is on his way. And yes, I was walking down the hall while you were saying that. Right into Studio C and live for your entertainment pleasure. Amanda says, nice, Patty. And yes, he is. Get your daily fix of Jake. Daily dose of Jake. That's what I like. LOL. Get our daily dose of fix. I got you. Patty says, I know, right? I think that's what that means. IKR, I know, right? Could mean I killed Reagan. I don't know. Or Inst Confidant Rector. Could be that too. Amanda says, woo-hoo, can you dig it? Not tonight. Tonight is... Get your musical cues straight. Patty, hello. How are you? Welcome to the show, dear. Squatch Stomper says, I just heard about the boxing match in the Olympics and the differences between the two boxers. Just nuts. Well, one of them had nuts. That's probably why the discrepancy. The other one did not. And bell ring, they come out to fight, and he punches her right in the face. Wha-pow! And she goes, I quit. I'm not fighting that guy. I mean, girl. I support what you're doing. I want you to keep fighting, just not me. Because that hurt. I've never been hit that hard in my life, she said. Yeah, that's what happens when you hit somebody in the face with shoulder muscles. It hurts. Foxman, what's up, brother? Have you heard about Kyle Rittenhouse? That's hilarious. Yesterday, Kyle Rittenhouse put out a tweet, a video, saying that he was not going to be voting for Trump, that he was going to write in Rand Paul, which basically is a vote for Kamala Harris, as you all know, because Rand Paul's not running for president. And the reason is because Donald Trump had hired some bad people in the beginning, and he wasn't really stringent on the 2A laws, which he is. But he did ban the bump stock, but he did that to shut people up, I think. So, insignificant piece of plastic. You can live without it and shoot without it, but whatever. So, after losing about 60,000 subscribers and multiple backlashes from everybody telling him, and I'll read some of the examples. After all of that, he posted a tweet. Oh, by the way, that video, he ended with the fact, if you don't stand for what you believe in, you get run over and you lose your rights, and I don't have any takebacks. That's what he said. I have no takebacks. Meaning, he's standing on his principles. He said that. He virtue signaled. You got to stand on your principles. Less than 24 hours later, he writes on Twitter, over the past 12 hours, I've had a series of productive conversations with members of the Trump team, and I am confident he will be the strong ally gun owners need to defend the Second Amendment rights. My comments made last night were ill-informed and unproductive. I'm 100% behind Donald Trump and encourage every gun owner to join me in helping send him back to the White House. Talk about no takebacks, huh? Did somebody spank you on your little bottom and you realized, when everybody was trying to crucify me for protecting myself, Donald Trump stood by my side and Trump supporters rallied around me to defend me. And they actually gave me lots and lots and lots of money by buying my books and paying to see me and all of that stuff. So they really were a lifeline from heaven, these Trump supporters that I'm now not supporting. Maybe I should take that comment back before I lose everything. That's what I'm thinking he was thinking. He's a young kid. My guess is he probably got hooked up with some never-Trumpers and they filled his mind full of nonsense and he thought there was no issue in going on a public stream and saying something nonsensical like that. However, I think he may have learned his lesson tonight that if you bite the hand that feeds you, it'll smack the shit out of you. Foxman says, hello, everybody. And Amanda says, hi, Fox. Curious Squirrel says, hi, everyone. Mr. P's in the house. He says, hey, there he is. Me? Amanda says, hi, Squirrel. You tighten yourself up. What are you doing? Being all loosey-goosey. Stay. Anyway, Amy Elizabeth in the house. She says, hello from South Kakalaki. Hello, South Carolina. Oh, I'm sorry. That says South Central Indiana. My bad. I do that sometimes and read ahead when I shouldn't. I apologize. South Central Indiana. I thought it said South Carolina for some reason. I saw the C. That's as far as I got. Amanda says, hi, Amy. Soph Allen's in the house. She says, good morning from Australia. That's a good cup of coffee. Amanda says, hi, Soph. Axelrod. Axirod? Is that an I or an L? That's an L and an I. Axelrod. I'm just going to call you Axelrod. Jake the Fake. Huh. Well, I tell you what, Axelrod, why don't you do a poll while you're here? Here, I'll do it for you, since you clearly don't know where you're at. Allow me to help you. Question. If I can get it to type. Is Jake a fake? There you go. Start the poll. Let's find out how people view me since you came into my show to insult me. Let's just see if the world thinks you're an idiot or if they think you're right. Amy Elizabeth says, thumbs up and share to Wimkin. Thank you. I need to check this Wimkin thing out, Amy Elizabeth. I'm not sure what that is, but thank you. And by the way, as you requested the other night, I'll be glad to come on you guys' show anytime you like. Just let me know. Amanda will put my email in the chat at some point. Just copy it down and you got me. And Amanda says, Axelrod, don't start nothing. They won't be nothing. And thanks, Amy. Mr. P says, chat's weird. It's that top chat. No opinion for bottom chat, right? Amanda says, hi, John. Refresh. I think he was making a joke. It's all about you top people, the top 1%ers. Never anything for us bottom feeders. At least that's the way I took it. If you didn't mean it that way, I'm sorry. I have a morbid sense of humor because I'm a fake, apparently. Well, so far you're not doing very good there, Axelrod. Amanda says, are you full screened? Talking to John. John says, I don't know. I can't figure it out. I don't know what to tell you, Mr. P. Just keep hanging in there. Curious Squirrel says, sorry, John. If you're on a phone, I can't help you. And Amy Elizabeth says, then Kyle retracted it. He got so much backlash for it, he caved, agreed. Check this out. I'm just going to read a few of the top chats or replies to his statement. Let's see if they're on here. From a very well-known cat turd, says, I was harder on you than anyone, but I can't hold a grudge when a man apologizes. Just remember, when it was political poison to take your side, Trump and MAGA were there for you during your lowest point. That's number one. Juanita Broderick says, thank you, Kyle. You're a bigger person than I gave you credit for. Welcome back. That's not so bad. And then Bert says, around we go. And he has a meme of Kyle Rittenhouse switching his mind up with a non-player character. Somebody put Rand Paul in place of Trump. It's a pretty good meme. Being Libertarian wrote, it's okay to acknowledge that Ron Paul and Libertarians are much better on 2A than Republicans. Hopefully, something like nationwide constitutional carry will be added to Trump's platform to encourage more Libertarians to support him. Well, being Libertarian, I do recall Trump saying that if you vote for me, I'll put a Libertarian on my cabinet. Remember that? Maybe you should consider that, because I think that's what he was reaching out across the aisle to do. Bert Macklin says, Kyle, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Have principles and stand by them. This isn't sounding very slapbacky, but I know they're there because I read them. These are just recent. Earth says, Kyle, maybe you should delete your posts from last night. You disappointed so many of us. Just remember, it was all of us who were behind you in your darkest hour. It was us, Trump supporters, who went to bat for you. We fought hard with all our might for you. It was us, Kyle. It was us, Kyle. We were all rooting for you, and we celebrated when things went our or your way. Never forget American flag, American flag. So that's the sentiment of everybody. They were very disappointed that Kyle Rittenhouse said these things. Chicago One Ray says, you don't backstab Trump, ... Kaylin from Texas says, no compromises means I'll compromise once the grift money gets cut off. That's exactly what that means. Never be so childish that you utter the words, I will not bend, I will not break, I will not compromise, unless, of course, you are that person and can withstand the heat. Because if you say that and then you go back on it, you have lost all credibility. And that is not a good place to be. And that was in response to Kyle's tweet to his own tweet that says no compromises means no compromises. So he doubled down on that sentiment. He didn't just say it in the video. He tweeted it later. And then less than 24 hours later, he's voting for Trump and supporting everybody that does. Imagine that. I happened to notice that when I went on his Twitter page, though, right up front by his profile picture was, hey, buy my book. So, yeah. Money talks and bullshit walks, Kyle. Anyway, that's enough of that. We can look at some other stuff later, but right now, you get the idea. I lost my place in chat. Let me find it. Oh, here we are. Amanda says, press the home button for YouTube and close it, and then come back in. You should get back to a regular screen, John. And Mr. P says, retracted. There you go, retracting stuff. How can I know what you said when you retract? And thank you, everybody, for sharing. Amanda says, did you like the Hyperbole, John? Yes, did you like my Hyperbole series? And for those of you that may have not seen it, I highly recommend you do. It is completely off type from what I'm doing now. But I think you'll like it. Curious Girl says, I love the Hyperbole shows. Some keep me laughing. Younger generations are easy to manipulate, says Amy. That's what I thought, Amy. I said that too at the beginning. I think he was just young and didn't realize, the longevity of what his statement might mean and how many people it might upset. I don't think he even considered that. I think he's just making himself sound like he's talking tough when he's listening to a bunch of never-Trumpers. I would imagine that's the case. So Fallon says, I hope that everyone is doing really well. We are, Soph. I hope you're doing really well. And I hope you're enjoying the show. The show is enjoying you. Oh, wow. Somebody actually said I was a fake. And the plot thickens. 92% says I'm real. 92? Really? You mean there's 8% of you that think I'm a phony? I wish you'd speak up so we could rectify that. Maybe I can get it down to 6%. Amanda says, I like the Hyperbole too. He's going to do more soon. Yes, I got some boiling. It's been a really crazy news cycle. And at the very moment that I took a break, that's when YouTube started putting their thumb on the scale again. So I'm trying not to lose my channel. So I'm going to wait a little while. And then I'm going to put some more Hyperboles out and some other things too. Don't lose faith. It's coming. My right-hand man is 1,000 miles away, so I don't have anybody to help me do all of this right now. But that's going to change soon too. Mr. P says, yeah, I liked it. It was hilarious, Amanda. Well, I'm glad you liked it. What part did you like specifically? Mr. P says, it's also kind of scary. Well, I didn't mean it that way. Amanda says, right, John? So Fallon says, nope. No what? No what, Soph? What are you saying no to? Amanda says, some true shit, though, John. And Amanda says, Amy, Jake's email is UntetheredLiveStream@gmail.com. No spaces. You put a space in there. And Mr. P says, you can take it whatever way helps the channel most, Jake. Thank you. I appreciate that. Amy says, my internet keeps dropping. I live in a rural area. Still waiting on that high-speed internet Biden promised. Yeah, if Biden promised it, you ain't ever going to get that. I hope that you can get it fixed, though, because it sucks to not have good internet. My internet company has just came out with fiber optic cable in my area, so I'm going to look into getting that at some point. So Fallon says, my uncle passed away 3 years ago on Wednesday, so I need prayers for that. Well, it was 3 years ago. I'm pretty sure it's covered, but I'll pray for you. Father, keep your hands on So Fallon. Bless her heart and have your will be done in her life. In Jesus' precious name, amen. There you go. Amanda says, sorry, Soph. Amy Elizabeth says, Soph, I've lost 7 people in 3 years, as have I. Not 7, 4. Mr. P says, yes, it was, Amanda. There's so much we don't even get to see because nobody has compiled the data on that stuff. It's cool that Jake does it. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to illustrate the crack in the matrix. I'm trying to show you where the facade falls and you can see through the curtain to the other side. And I'm doing it sarcastically. Amanda says, yes, it does, and he's going to get back into it soon. It takes a lot to do the Hyperbole episodes. Well, by yourself, it kind of does, yeah. Amy says, I share it on Facebook. Well, thank you, Amy. I can only imagine, Amanda says, Mr. P. And Amanda says, thank you, Amy. Ooh. Patty says, Soph, I wish you well, smiley face. And Soph says, thanks, Patty. And Mr. P says, if I retracted it, Jake, it's only because it wasn't necessary for you to read it. Just to do with chat issues. Okay, got it. Understood. And Mr. P says, sorry to hear that, Soph. And Amanda says, the ones here know better about you, Jake. We love you. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Curious Squirrel says 8% of 13 is 1. Right. You're not fake, says Soph. Well, thank you. I did that just to shut that troll up, and apparently it worked. Amanda says, I don't space it. YouTube does it. Ah. Colin Hill, the Battle says, hamburger helper. What's up, Colin? Good to see you. And Amanda says, hi, Colin. And Fab Daddy says, is this deep state fake, Jake? Prove that it isn't AI. I'm totally not AI. How you doing, Fab Daddy? Amanda says, hi, Fab. And Fab says, hi. And Amanda says, LOL, Fab. Someone came in chat and called Jake a fake. Well, I'm a lot of things, but fake ain't one of them. I promise. Honestly, I'm telling you the truth. And Mr. P says, yep, that's essentially what I liked. I typed a whole message, but chat screwed it up. I like popping off with the wit. Well, thank you. Hopefully I'm witty. I try to be anyway. Amanda says, yes, John, his sarcasm is the best. Sharp as a razor blade, pointy as a tack. Or something rattlesnake. Whatever. Mr. P says the amount of thought and work for the hyperboles is admirable too, especially since I know how and see you as many times as 5 times a week. Yeah, it was taking up a lot of time, but that's fine. I don't mind that. Ultimately, I want to put out a good product. I did, however, find it very difficult to keep it under 30 minutes. That seems to be tough. Amanda says, hey, everybody, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats available in the chat box if you want to show a little love. It is appreciated. Amy says, I don't think Rittenhouse is a hero, in my honest opinion. I understand why he went, but it was a stupid thing to do. I do agree with that. And I don't think he's a hero. I think he's a young person with a gun that was protecting his property or his friend's property. I think that's the extent of it. I don't think he put any more thought in it than that. He was asked to protect, so he did. He's probably out exercising his constitutional right to carry because he thought he could. That being said, I also think that the way that America treated him, the media and the government, I think that was very unfair. And I think that if somebody hits you in the head with a skateboard, you have a right to blow them away. So that's my opinion. Apparently, some people don't share that opinion. But I wouldn't be hitting me in the head with a skateboard if I were you. Then we got Kamala Harris talking for Joe Biden, who's zoned out, saying some nonsense about the power of diplomacy and the significance of the power of the significance of diplomacy, and he has it in spades, apparently. But I don't think it landed the way she meant it to. And also, since when does the vice president speak for the president in a newsworthy event that he just did? And also, why is he claiming he did a press conference, right? And they asked, a reporter asked, why did he think Trump, or no, he said Trump had come out and said that we needed to get the hostages home. What do you think about that? And he says, well, why didn't he do it while he was president, and then walked away with a shit-eating grin on his face? Well, Joe, because this particular prisoner that you had freed was arrested while you were president, not while Trump was president. So if anybody saw that particular comment, know that that was a complete gaffe on the president's part. He had no idea when that guy was arrested, and he doesn't care. That was a political stunt, pure and simple. He's trying to win votes. He don't give a shit if that guy rots over there. Bill, welcome to the show. He says, hi, y'all. Hey, Bill. Amanda says, hi. Patty says, he's a kid, and they are so impressionable. Yes. Kamala and diplomacy oxymoronic. Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure she could do some intense negotiations on the floor, though. Apparently she can, because that's how she got where she's at. Curious Girl says, she must have a limit to the number of words she can use at a time. I agree. Fab Daddy says, angry people are easily led. This is true, Fab Daddy. And a mob of people are easy to manipulate. Was that before or after Biden wandered off and got into an empty airplane? I saw that today. Yeah, I saw that too. And I also saw the news saying, he was saying hello to the pilots. It's an empty plane. Nobody's in there. He saw a plane and decided, well, that must be for me. And he walked into it, period. And he stayed in there for a few minutes by himself. And also, you could see the cockpit from the door angle through the camera, and he didn't turn that way. He turned back towards the passenger side. That was funny. Mr. P says, there's so many instances of moronic thought processes in the Democratic Party, it's frightening. How can people be that stupid and in that position of power? It's beyond my understanding. Well, I'll tell you why it's beyond your understanding, because you're expecting the world to function in the way that it's presented to you that it functions. And that ain't the way the world functions. The reason they're in that position is because they're easy to manipulate. They're for sale. If you're for sale, you can get places too, by the way. And most politicians, I'd say most all of them, including Trump to some degree, is easily manipulated by money or by power or by intrigue, palace intrigue. So that's the reason they're there. They're there because the people that are in charge know that they can purchase them to do whatever they want them to do. They're there seeking power, and they get it. They're not worthy of power, but they are seeking it. He was looking for a bathroom. He may very well have been looking for a bathroom. That's true. He might have pissed right there on the floor. Who knows? Notice they didn't talk a lot about it. Patty says, I have wondered where he's been. He's been at home. Kamala's been running the country. Kamala and Obama. Amanda says he had to change his pull-up, Amy. LOL. I'm a big kid now. Amy says, Fab Daddy, some people are such morons. They're really off. So I call them more off. Get them, Amy. By the way, Amy, I watched a little bit of that show, the dumb show, the Don't Unfriend Me show. Are you one of the lovely girls that are there? Are you the lovely blonde girl that's on the end? Or the lovely brunette that's closer to the speaker? I had to see who I was dealing with. Jack says, "Que comida debo cocinar." Cocinar. I don't know what that means, Jack. But I'm assuming it has something to do with the bathroom. Amanda says, "Hi, Jack." And Jack says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" Clap, clap. And LOL, Amy, says Amanda. By the way, if you guys hadn't seen the new Untethered Live Facebook page, your link is in the chat. Go by and check it out. Communicate with everybody. Share some videos, share some pictures, share some texts, and get to know everyone off of the channel. And you can keep up with all things Untethered Live Universe there. I appreciate that very much. And also, there's other links to other pages in the description below. Go check them out. See what I'm building here. See if you want to help me do that. Fab Daddy says, "Whatever flicks your switch." Whose switch? And what are we talking about? Rachel Floyd in the house. Hey, Rachel. Rachel says, "Hey." No, that's another Amy. Okay. I didn't know. I saw the name Amy, but I don't know what your whole name is, so I didn't know if that was you or not. But anyway, I was checking in on you. Amanda says, "Hi, Rachel." Patty says, "Idiots. Small brain folk." Agreed. Amanda says, "LOL, that was my daddy's favorite word, Patty. Idiot. You idiot." Jack says, "I am hungry," smiley face. Well, eat. And Fab Daddy says, "Moron, more off." I like it. Amy says, "Olivia is the brunette. Amy is the blonde." Okay, but neither one of them were you. Then eat Jack. Somebody eat Jack. Walter Davis, what's up, my brother? Good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Amanda says, "Hi, Walter." Patty says, smiley face. Jack says, should I eat? You mean, what should you eat? Food. That's a nonsensical thing to say in a political conversation. Jack, read the room, buddy. 83% says I'm not fake. So apparently some of you think I am fake. 17%. Interesting. Keep going. I want to know where it comes out. Rachel says, "Yes, food." Amanda says, "Food." Jack says, "What kind of food, chat?" Chat is not food, Jack. Go handle your business and come back and see us. Amy says, "I ate a bowl of cereal." Ooh, nice. I ate a peanut butter and blueberry fig jelly sandwich today. It's delicious. Pickles and cookies, Fab Daddy says. Delicious. Gross, actually. Amanda says that the kind that you eat, Jack. Food. Rachel says, "Ew, Fat Daddy." Yeah, you're pregnant or something, buddy. Rachel says, "What weird ass food combos are you eating?" Well, I can't really talk. When I was a kid, I liked mayonnaise and jelly sandwiches, grape jelly. Don't knock it till you try it, though. It's actually pretty good. Weird, but good. Peanut butter and chili, says Fab Daddy. That's not an unusual flavor combination. Peanut butter toast, a glass of milk, and chili, hot chili, is delicious. I'd have never believed that until I was at somebody's house and that's what they served. And because I'm a gentleman, I ate it and I loved it. It's delicious. Mr. P says, "Probably trolls who were scrolling through who agreed. Anyone else probably a lefty lurking. Probably. I still outweigh the bad." Amanda says, "Damn, Fab, you sound pregnant." Right. Amy says, "Peanut butter sandwiches and chili reminds me of the school lunches." Kind of, sort of. I mean, I eat ketchup with mac and cheese, says Rachel. I've eaten ketchup with eggs before, so I can see why that would be a thing. Mayonnaise and peanut butter. Blech. Curious Squirrel says, I've heard people say peanut butter is great with chili. It is. Get you some, just make peanut butter toast. Eat your chili with a glass of whole milk, cold whole milk. That's a very good flavor combination, oddly enough. Amanda says, ew, Rachel, how you going to ruin mac and cheese like that? LOL. Jake eats ketchup on eggs. See? I don't eat ketchup on eggs. I have eaten ketchup on eggs. I do eat ketchup on collard greens, though. And if you think that's bad, try it. I promise you it'll amaze you. You didn't know that was missing it until you put it on there, and then you see. Kimchi and bananas? Yeah, that sounds kind of gross. Rachel says, it's so good, Amanda, especially the shell mac and cheese. Yeah, because it'd be thicker. It'd soak up the ketchup. I could see that. Curious says, I eat ketchup on scrambled eggs. I have. I don't do it regularly, but I have done it, and it ain't bad. My dad liked mustard on scrambled eggs. That's gross. But not really, because when I have an egg sandwich, like a sausage egg sandwich, I like to put mustard on that, so it really ain't that gross. Amanda says, mac and cheese is my favorite. I couldn't ruin it with ketchup. Well, it wouldn't be ruining it if you like the taste of ketchup. Amy says, I still eat peanut butter even after knowing the allowable amounts of rodent hair and insect parts from the FDA. Well, there's also like a 5% allowance for human parts in most things. Amanda says, I'm not a big ketchup person, LOL. Well, Amy says, according to Reagan, ketchup is a vegetable. Well, we're from the South, and where we live, tomatoes are considered vegetables. However, they do grow on a vine, and they do have seeds on the inside and are acidic, so they are technically a fruit, and they have a skin on the outside. All characteristics of a fruit, but we consider it a vegetable because it's not sweet. Rachel says, I love ketchup. You're missing out. Jack says, V8 and a hot pepper. Yep, that's good. I like V8 juice, but I also like hot peppers, so I could see why that would work. I like the spicy V8 juice. It's got hot sauce in it, too, so that works out. Amanda says, I eat ketchup on very few things. Patty says, my chat is not moving. You might need to refresh, Patty. Or go out of live and go back in live. What do you think about Kamala calling herself president? You think she knows something we don't? I haven't heard her call herself president yet. But I would imagine, considering she won the delegates without having competed in the delegate winning process, they just assigned her to be the nominee. Keep in mind that all this time, all this money that was raised, all these people that have worked their asses off to run a campaign, all these different towns that they went to and all the collaborations for the rallies and the this and the that and the fundraisers and all the ads that were made, they were all done for Joe Biden. And in the last hour, they just switch him out for Kamala Harris. And she walks in having earned none of that, having done none of that. No one has voted for the woman who claims that democracy is on the ballot, for the party that claims that we are about to lose our democracy. They are suspiciously undemocratic. because no one voted for Kamala Harris. She won 0 votes, 0 delegates, and yet she is the nominee, which means a committee that you didn't vote into office picked her and then installed her as the next president. And if they have their way about it, that's the way it'll go. So all that money that Joe Biden earned running for president now just gets put on Kamala Harris. If Trump's lawsuit doesn't go through, which I haven't heard one way or the other yet how that's going, but they did file a lawsuit. We'll see. So if you have it in your heart to vote for Kamala Harris, understand that you are actively driving nails in the coffin of democracy, because they are not a democratically run organization. They are a private business, the DNC, and they will do whatever the hell they want to do, regardless of what the people think. And if she called herself president, I would say it's wishful thinking, because Donald Trump's going to smoke her ass. Amanda says, go from all messages to top messages and then back to all messages, Patty. Rachel says, well, technically the Supreme Court ruled the tomato is a vegetable in 1893. Really? Well, that settles that then. It is a vegetable. So Ronald Reagan was right. Fun fact. Also, fun fact, that little plastic tip on the end of your shoelaces is called a flugel. Ha! Checkmate. Curious Squirrel says, I make my own peanut butter with dry roasted peanuts. I would love to try some of that, Curious Squirrel. I like homemade stuff. I make jelly. So the two of us can make a sandwich together, baby. Amanda says, yummy squirrel. Fab Daddy says, I was thinking about peach and cantaloupe smoothies. Got a can of peaches and a fresh cantaloupe. Well, you could make a smoothie, or you could just eat peaches and cantaloupe. Jack says ketchup and jelly sandwich is good with a hot pepper. Well, surprisingly, I've had hot pepper jelly before, and it is delicious. They make jelly out of hot peppers up here. I don't know if they do it anywhere else, but it's a North Carolina thing for sure. And it's delicious. And if I get some, if I can find a place where I can buy a surplus of it, I'll sell some of it. I might make some. That's an idea. I do know how to make jelly. I might make some. It's delicious, though. So you guys tell me, is hot pepper jelly readily available where you are? Because I don't know. As far as I know, it's a North Carolina thing. Amy says, squirrel talking about nuts. That's hilarious. She's just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Like me. Amanda says, I've always wanted to make cashew peanut butter just to see what it's like. Probably cashewy. Fab Daddy says grilled peanut butter and tomato sandwiches. Gross. You put mayonnaise on a tomato sandwich. Yeah. I couldn't imagine tomato and peanut butter tasting good together. I'll try it, though. I'll try anything once. I'll eat anything that won't eat me first, and in some cases, I will consider that. Patty says, it is now. It is now. You mean available? Or is it moving now? Your chat moving now? Amanda says, LOL, Amy, right? Jack says, I eat nuts. Jack, we know. We know. You just calm your little ass down, sir. Rachel says, how are y'all's intestines not on fire with all these weird combos? Now, nobody ever said they weren't, Rachel. A lot of us have quite a lot of intestinal fortitude problems. Patty says, really? And Amanda says, I like jalapeno peppers, homemade. All jalapeno peppers are homemade. You have to plant them. Favorite nut, Jack? I think yours. Or his. Jack says, my nuts. Well, there you go. So I told you. Amanda says, LOL fab. Patty says, selected. Amy says, Amanda says, tomato and mayonnaise sandwiches, fab. Yes, that sounds delicious. I wish I had a tomato right now. I would eat a tomato sandwich right now. With some bacon on it? Oh, yeah. Now I'm hungry. Thanks, guys. Amy says, our democracy, quote unquote, not democracy, quote unquote, meaning for everyone. They only care about staying in power. Well, it's my contention, and I've said this many times, and I'll say it again, probably to the dismay of everyone running the show, but I can't not say what I believe, and I believe that anyone who has ever used the term our democracy in a sentence in a favorable way, anybody that's ever said democracy's on the ballot or anything like that, are traitors. And the reason I think that is because we do not live in a democracy, and we have never had a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic that is democratically elected by the people, not the government. The government should not have power. The people have power. The government are representative of the people. So no, I don't want to save our democracy. I want to vote it off the ballot because it's not what we're supposed to be. Democracies do not work. That's a easier way of saying that is too many chiefs, not enough Indians. You know what I'm saying? Jack says, I ate dog food one time with milk in a bowl. It was not bad. Well, I've eaten dog food also, but I did it for an entirely different reason. I did it because I read the label and it said new and improved, better tasting. And I thought, how do they know? So I tried it, and they were right. It was better than the other stuff. Fab Daddy says, your chat is about to jump. Fab Daddy says, what do you call nuts on a wall? Walnuts. What do you call nuts on a chest? Chestnuts. What do you call nuts on a chin? Nine in your mouth. Patty says, off topic, Jake, my Fender guitar is a Squire. Yeah, you told me that Wednesday. And I agree. I concur. Jake Johnson Jelly. Hey, that's a good name. I like that. I have a Squire also. Right back there. And it's one of my favorite guitars. I've been using Squire for probably 30 years. And mostly because I can't afford a real guitar. But other than that, I can mod them and make them useful. And I'm also a luthier, so I know how to do all the stuff, work it out and make things work. Patty's retracting messages. Anyway, if you have a higher model Squire, you've got a good instrument. They're not bad instruments. Some of the cheaper, like the $99 Squires, the Affinity Squire, the old ones, garbage. I wouldn't own one of those things. I wouldn't catch it on fire to stay warm. But there's a rebrand of Affinity guitars, Affinity Squires, that have come out since 2004, and those are pretty good. I've got one of them in there, and it's a pretty good guitar. So, Classic Vibe is a good Squire guitar, and Vintage is a good Squire guitar. Those are both higher end, and the way that you can tell is by looking at the label. They have black labels, silver labels, and gold labels, depending on the value of the instrument. So the black labels are the cheaper ones, and the gold label are the expensive ones, and the middle is in the middle of the road. I have a gold label and a silver label. And certainly have a black label around here somewhere. Amanda says, what fab? What do you call a chin nut? Mine, I told you. On your chin. Jake Johnson jelly. Jake Johnson jalapeno jelly. Nah. Jam up Jake Johnson jelly. I like it. Amanda says they make hot pepper jelly here with the Florida Grove peppers, I do believe. Well, the reason I ask is because I've never seen it before until I moved here. So I didn't know if it was a regular thing, if everybody knew about it, or if it was like one of those niche, towny kind of things, like pig ears are to Memphis, or barbecue is to certain places, Texas, Chicago, Florida, North Carolina. You hadn't had barbecue until you have North Carolina barbecue, by the way, but that's just me. Fab Daddy says, I'll message the answer, Amanda. You watch yourself, Fab Daddy. You're talking to family. Dana, greetings. Hello, how are you? Amanda says, okay, Fab. And Amy says, tomato sandwich with Miracle Whip. Nah, Miracle Whip. Yeah. I like mayonnaise. I can't believe it's not mayonnaise. I like Duke's. Hellman's is a second, but I like Duke's. I prefer that one over any of the other ones. It's not as vegetable oily. I mean, it is because that's what it's made out of, vegetable oil and egg whites, but it doesn't taste vegetable oily. How are you, Dana? Doing well, I hope. Curious Squirrel says, it's easy to make peanut butter, and I've made it with cashews before. Just throw them in the blender and blend until smooth. Stop once in a while to not overheat the motor. Is that all? You don't put nothing in it? What, did they provide their own oil or something when they get minced? Or frappade? Amy says, I made a good tomato pie. I've never had tomato pie, but I bet that is good. Bill says, I couldn't wrap my mind around what $1 trillion looks like. Turns out it's a stack of $1 bills 62,000 miles high. There's an app somewhere or a video that describes visually what $1 trillion is. And they do it like in stacks or blocks so that they show you the difference between $1 million and $1 trillion. You would not believe how much money $1 trillion is. Patty says that jelly is here. So I guess it is a regular thing, so scratch that idea. Curious Squirrel says, only a... Only a cup or two at a time, and don't fill the blender to the top. Amy says a true democracy is mob rule. That's correct, and that's why democracies don't work, because when the powerful are in charge, they have the rule. They make the majority. A constitutional republic guarantees that everyone has a say, and that say can be argued, and the best ideas will rise to the top. Amanda says, thanks, Squirrel. And Jack says, if you pay me, I will eat cat food for you. Nobody's going to pay you. Mr. P says, I called nuts on a chin, buffed nuts if the person has a goatee. Blah. She better not. Jake don't swing that way. You do you, but don't get any of it on me. That's what I'm saying. I don't wish ever to get teabagged, but thanks for thinking of me. I had a band member try to do that to me once, and he learned why I'm the chief. All right, we're playing in a beach town, and somebody had given us a trailer out on the beach to sleep in that night. So there was only a limited number of beds in the trailer, so I took the floor so that my band members could sleep in the beds and on the couches. So I'm laying there on the floor. It's about 4:30 in the morning, something like that, just before the sun comes up. I'm utterly exhausted, and I'm laying there half asleep, and I hear the door creak open. And my guitar player comes in. Now, my guitar player at the time was a black guy. Cool dude, but black as an ace of spades, so I couldn't see him. But I heard him. And he tiptoed over to me, and he straddled me, and I heard his leather pants come down. And I knew what was happening. He was about to teabag me and embarrass me in front of the band. So I just reached up, grabbed a handful of nuts, and twisted like that. That dude turned white as a ghost and got out of there. And he never messed with me again. That's why you don't mess with the boss man. Because I'll twist you up. Fab Daddy's... Oh, I read that one. LOL, John says Amanda. Geez, Fab, LOL, says Amanda. Men and their one-track minds. I didn't bring it up. Jake's jam and jelly. Well, apparently it's a regular thing, so there's no point in me doing that, but it's a good idea anyway. Jake, get some food, man. Well, I will. And Jack says peanut butter and jelly. Amanda says Florida barbecue is the best. Incorrect. Sorry, it's just a matter of actual fact. Here, barbecue only means one thing, and that's pulled pork. That's it. That's what a barbecue is. Not barbecue chicken. We don't put barbecue sauce on it. Mr. P says, Jake, I didn't know you identified as a North Carolina barbecue. I don't, but I do like it. It grows on you. I'm from Georgia, and I lived in Florida most of my life, so I never knew what barbecue meant until I moved to a barbecue place. Texas also has their own barbecue, and so does Chicago, and probably Tennessee, too. But it's very serious up here. They take it very seriously. Amanda says, hi, Dana. And Fab Daddy says, I've had North Carolina barbecue. Half a pig party it was. It's good, ain't it? Very delicious. The first time you eat it, though, you'll hate it, but it grows on you. It's one of those flavors. Dana says, Amanda Hart. Mr. P says, Dana Hart. Jack says, food topic today. Apparently. Rachel says, barbecue is bussin'. What does that mean? Bussin' like bussin' a nut? Or is that a young person word that I don't know? Dana says, curious squirrel, heart with an echo. Pulled pork is the best with cornbread, says Rachel. It's pretty good. Amanda says, Dukes, Hellman's, and Blue Plate Mayo. I don't think I've had Blue Plate, and if I have, I don't remember it. Fab Daddy says, I like food more than politics. Well, I'm going to go wherever you guys want to go. Obviously. Dana says, Mr. P. Hart. Jack says, Popeye's chicken. Now, that's good. I haven't had Popeyes in a long time. Dexter Slab says, how you doing? God bless you, brother. Dexter, good to see you. God bless you, too. Dana says, curious coral heart. And Amanda says, fried chicken, collards, purple hull peas, and fried cornbread. Yummy. Well, that happens to be my favorite meal. That is the best. Fab Daddy says, Hellman's Mayo is called best foods on the West Coast. It is good. Curious Squirrel says, I don't add anything to the peanut butter. You may want a little salt to taste, depending on the nuts you use. I don't add oil. Well, I would imagine they add their own oil, don't they? That's why I was asking. I didn't know if you put like vegetable oil or egg whites or anything like that in peanut butter. I didn't know. But it's interesting that it just whips right on up into peanut butter. Rachel says, sounds so good, Amanda. Yes, it does. That is my favorite meal of all times. Amanda says, yes, girl, Jake's favorite. We'll wait for his reaction. See? Mr. P says, crying, laughing. Curious Squirrel says, when the Iroquois Nation made decisions, one no vote was all it took to stop something. If the rest really wanted to do whatever it was, they had to talk with that no voter and change his mind. Well, the Iroquois has a very good system. You know who else had a good system? Moses. Which is why we have the system we have, actually. Rachel says, crying, laughing. Curious Squirrel says, hi, Dana. Dexter Slab says, are birds real or robots? Well, they're real unless you live in D.C. and they're robots. Obviously. Jack says, pig's feet are really good. That's debatable. I know a lot of people that love pig's feet. I don't care for them. Unless they're in butter beans. That'll be all right. Or a pig neck. Neck's probably better than the feet, but whatever. I guess when you're poor and you live in the South, you'll eat anything if it's edible. Mr. P says Pittsburgh has barbecue. It's serious, right? Florida barbecue is everything, LOL. Yeah, it's everything, and you put barbecue sauce on it. That's not what a barbecue is. Rachel says, yeah, my ex was from Texas. Hey, they wrote a song about him. And we stopped going to barbecue places here in Virginia because he would literally fight the cooks about how they were making barbecue. Yeah, Texas takes that shit seriously. More so than North Carolina does. They take it way too seriously. Yes, they do. Mr. P says bussin' is something someone popularized as saying. I forget who. And Rachel says bussin' means it is beyond good. So someone says food is bussin', it means the food is amazing. Got it. Understood. Fab Daddy says bussin' is a term of greatness with food. It came from the Convict Cooks channel. Okay. And Rachel says, yeah, us young people say it. Right? I remember when I was the young people. Bussin' is used for anything good, not just food. Like this channel is bussin'. This chat is bussin'. I got it. I understand. Nightcap, welcome to the show. Nightcap King says, long time no see, Jake. Long time no see, buddy. Amanda retracted a message. Did you ban yourself? Mr. P says, I had a long conversation Oh, Nate hit me with $5 super chat. He said, "What's up, buddy? Good to see y'all." Thank you, Nate. God bless you, sir. I appreciate the super chat. That's going to go right towards a hamburger, I think. Mr. P says, "I had a long conversation before coming to Untethered Live tonight, Jake. This guy was trying to convince people that Deepak Chopra was the way to go for spiritual guidance. Never, ever listen to anybody that talks like this. They're usually scam artists. And Deepak Chopra, come on. If this was the 70s, I might reconsider, but lots have happened since then. The guys on YouTube, yeah, I know who Deepak Chopra is. And he's one of those people that would be a guest on Oprah Winfrey Show. You know what I'm saying? Nightcap says, "Hey, Amanda, Miss Banhammer. How you been, Nightcap King?" Mr. P says, "I had pig feet once." Once. Amanda says, "Hi, Nightcap. Welcome back. I forgot to add the cap. It confuses Jake, LOL." I don't know what you're talking about. Nightcap says, "You remember. That's sweet." Well, yeah, it's her job to remember. She does a good job. She remembers for me because I have CRS. It's a very serious elderly disease. Jack says, "My friend wants camping for 3 days and they cooked skunk." Was it stinky? Amy says, "The government tried to train spy pigeons in WW2. This is true, and they also, I forget exactly, I think it might have been Korea. It was either Korea or something they were doing with China or Japan one. I don't know which. It was an Oriental country anyway. And they had actively drawn up plans to put bombs on the back of bats so that they would roost in the nests of the houses and the eaves of the houses and then blow them up. It didn't work, but they tried. Just know that our government thinks up some crazy shit sometimes. Amanda says, "Yes, Nightcap, LOL, crying, laughing." Nightcap says, "How you been?" "I've been great, buddy. Hanging in there, growing like a ragweed, this channel is. Up and down, but it's getting there. Glad to have you back." Amy says, "Jake, try Frank's Red Hot. You can put that shit on anything, even skunk, right?" I like a brand called Scott's. Scott's is a type of sauce, but it's very hot. It'll peel your lips off if you eat too much of it. But it's very good. Nate hits me with that $5 super chat, and I appreciate that, Nate. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a good Saturday evening. Ready for some great conversation, because that's what we're doing. Conversating. Greatly. Bigly. Amanda says, "Rolling on the floor, Amy. Smiley, smiley, smiley." Mr. P says, "Oh, yeah. That's where, Fab. I remember now. Everything he did was silly." Hollywood Jim Bob. What's up? I don't know what any of those symbols mean. I can't tell what it is even. Rachel says, "This chat is bussin', ha 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 ha." Not quite right. But you got the gist of it. I'm trying. Mr. P says, "Thanks, Nate." And Jack says, "Jake is not fake. Maybe people made a mistake. Well, it's getting closer and closer to half the people thinking I am fake, so, whatever. I don't take it to heart. It got the troll to shut up anyway. Amanda says, woohoo, thanks, Nate. And Amanda says, I've been good. Thanks, Nightcap. How have you been? Amy Elizabeth says, 16 watching and only 10 likes. Come on, people. That math don't add up. Whipmaster says, who's hating on Jake? What's up, Whipmaster? Apparently, half the people. I think most of it's trolling, though. I don't think anybody that put, yes, I'm fake, actually knows me or has spent any time listening to me. That's the nature of polls. Who the heck is saying Jake is fake, says Nate. Watching just one of his shows would clear it all up. I agree, Nate. And it was a troll that came in, and the first thing they said was Jake is fake, and instead of arguing with him, I put a poll up to see if he was right. Apparently he was right. Amanda says, LOL, Jake. Before, when Nightcap was in here, I would only call him Night, and you would think I was saying good night. Yeah, I got it. I come to that conclusion after I read the last chat. And Amanda says, hi, Whipmaster. And then Amanda says, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and Super Chat is available if you want to show some love. And Patty says, Jake, did you know that our ambassador to Australia is Caroline Kennedy? Schlossberg? I did not know that. Who is Caroline Kennedy? Schlossberg. And Amanda says, thanks, Amy, and hi, Jim Bob. And Jack says, hot sauce and something sounds good. Oh, that's a skunk. I see. Hot sauce and a skunk sounds good. Well, it tastes like chicken. I can tell you that. JFK's daughter. Got it. I did not know that. That's kind of cool. Mr. P says, I thought the bats thing was an incendiary bombs. Isn't that what I said? And it was Tokyo. That's right. And Cure's structure in Japan were almost entirely constructed with wood. Right. I knew it was an Oriental country, but I couldn't remember which one it was. It was Tokyo. And it was little bombs. Didn't I say that? I thought I said that. It looks like a coconut. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe he was saying I was coconuts. He'd be right. Chemtrail Warrior, hello, welcome back. How are you, Chemtrail? Good to see you. You're not fake. Thank you very much, Chemtrail. I appreciate you. Amanda says, hi, Chemtrail. Hello, Amanda, says Chemtrail. And Patty says, JFK's, daughter. Share this everywhere, says Chemtrail. Please do. It don't look like much, but we've had 139 viewers so far, so that's something. Amy says, hot sauce and skunk is a Daryl Dixon thing. The Walking Dead. I like Daryl Dixon. And I liked Walking Dead till I got sick of it. 11 seasons of anything will do that. Jack says, I'm getting food now. Jake, go eat. Well, I'm kind of working right now, so, buy me a hamburger. How about that? Chemtrail says, Tokyo. Mr. P says, sorry, Jake. Did you say bombs? Incendiary was the distinction I was trying to make. Still bombs, just different intent. I got you. I knew they were trying to burn the places down. I didn't mean they had nuclear warheads attached to the bats. Just little bombs. Thank you, Chemtrail. How are you doing, by the way? I haven't seen you in a while. How's life? Hasn't it been an interesting cycle? Lots of weird things going on in our country. I can make dandelion jelly, too. Ooh, I wonder what that tastes like. I don't think I've ever eaten a dandelion before. I know you can, I just don't think I have. Chemtrail says, it's a start, babe. Right. Noah Ammon says, ja, hi, hi, ja, hi, bye, hi, bye, bye, hi, KHINX. Dude, you want to share some of that riddling? Chemtrail says, Walking Dead, distraction. Yes, it is. And Jack says, Super chat, Jake. Chat. Jake is hungry. He needs food. It's on us, Jake.
Feed Jake, now I lay me down to sleep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I die before I wake, feed Jake.
Pizza. Chemtrail says, not good, may have cancer. Oh, Chemtrail, that's not good. I'm sorry to hear that. I'll pray for you. That's terrible. I know how that feels, and I hope that you're okay. And we'll be here for you if you decide you want to come get some God in you before you go. Mr. P says, I recall making jam or jelly with my mother when I was just a wee lad. We had so many blackberries on the farm. They were everywhere. Yes, I love blackberries. We got some growing wild out here. And Amanda says, I'm sorry to hear that, Chemtrail. Amy says, prayers, Chemtrail. I hope that works out for you. I'm sorry to hear the news. I have twice had a doctor tell me I had cancer, only to tell me a week later they were mistaken. Sorry. That's a week that I had to face my mortality before they told me they were wrong. So that should be illegal. Chemtrail says, thanks for the love. I got my own problems, but I love this realm. This realm loves you too. And know it's a tough thing, but I hope that you understand your position in this life and what happens when it's over. It is not over. It's just another thing. So I hope that comforts you in some small way, notwithstanding what I know you're going to have to go through should you be positive for this issue. That's going to suck. But just know that God has your back and that there is a plan in place, and this will not be the end of Chemtrail. And thank you, love. You're welcome, love. I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through. Turkey tail mushrooms are supposed to help with cancer, says Amy Elizabeth. And so is vitamin 17 and apricot seeds. It depends on what kind of cancer, though. Amanda says, yes, definitely thinking you have cancer and then don't is terrifying. Prayers. Yeah. Until you know for sure, it's a hard thing to swallow. Mr. P says, unfortunately, my family sold the property to the landfill because it was cheaper for them to expand the landfill than getting a new site cleared. Sad. I must have missed the first part of that. Jack says, Jake, what world are you from? This one. What are you talking about? Hey, Jot, what's up? People think you're fake? Apparently so, hey, Jot. Apparently so. How are you? Good to see you. Chemtrail says, I'll find out next week. They did a biopsy, and I'm waiting on the results. Well, we'll be praying for you, and I hope they come back negative. No, a troll came in when I first started the stream, and it said, Jake is fake, and then dipped. And so to shut them up, I just put a poll up rather than argue with them. And apparently 88% of people think I'm the real thing, and the rest of them think I'm phony as a $3 bill. Amanda says, hi, Ajot. And Ajot says, no way. You're the real as real. Thank you very much. And I appreciate the confidence. Chemtrail says, I can't wait to ascend. Well, we all have to do it sooner or later. Ajot says, hi, beautiful Amanda. Chemtrail says, we love you, Jake. But thank you. I love you, too. I've been doing vitamin C and cannabis oil, says Chemtrail. Cannabis oil has some benefits that I've heard of. Ajot says, we're doing very well, sweetheart. Celebrated baby Jay birthday today. 1 year old. I'm blessed. Oh, I remember those times. That's a wonderful time. That's just when the baby can smile at you good. Congratulations. That's beautiful. Mr. P says, I don't know what happened to the first part. I just said we had 300 acres split up between the 4 brothers. One was my dad. Okay, I did not see that one. I apologize. Rachel says, either we will ascend or descend. Well, we're all going to ascend first. The descending happens later. But everybody's going to heaven. Chemtrail says, my company makes pure oil, and I think it's working. Hey, John says, thanks for asking. I love you long time. Me love you long time. Oh, you didn't mean it that way. I got it. Curious Girl says, congratulations, A-Jot, and a happy birthday to the wee one. Yes, absolutely happy birthday. Bo York, that's a good way to get messages deleted. Chemtrail says, yes, you can't argue with the insane. Right. And Amanda says, congratulations, A-Jot. The fun begins now. We'll be into everything. Those terrible twos are right around the corner. A-Jot says, thanks, Curious Squirrel. And Amanda says, nice try, Bo. I don't play that here. Bo says, just kidding, though. I'm glad to see you're still being yourself. I always will be. That's who I am. Whatever that means. Chemtrail says, I heard frequency machines work on cells as well. I've heard some stuff about that, but I don't know enough about the science to direct you in any way. But I have heard there is some progress with that sort of thing. I have read that comment so many times, but it's not necessary. Amy says, I don't think anyone would deny God, i.e., they're in his presence. Who would? Well, standing before God, I think that would be kind of difficult to do. I would imagine that a lot of people are going to be very dismayed when they realize that they were wrong and that their arrogant ways has led them to the point where they're now standing before the Lord Almighty, who can now judge them. And that's when they're going to start worrying about that judgment. I think that's going to be a lot. Not tonight. What? What are you talking about? I think she's referring to your trolliness. If you said something trolly. I didn't see it because they delete that stuff before I get to it. And Amanda says him reading that comment is what she was talking about, not tonight. Bo says he already did. Stay mad, Amanda. It's a joke. Well, it might be a joke, but there are a lot of ladies here, and people don't want to be insulted or offended. So let's just get to know each other. Try starting with hello. That's a good way to open a conversation. Amanda says, I don't get mad. I get banhammery. Bo says, I like this guy because he reads it all, whether he agrees or not. True. But I will censor things that shouldn't be read. If it's going to insult one of my ladies here, I don't play that game. Is that a tens unit machine? I don't think that's what they're referring to. A tens unit does use electricity to stimulate muscles. I think they were referring to high frequency sounds, like something Nikola Tesla would be into. Mr. P says they denied him when they made the golden idol, Jake. That's unbelievable. I agree with that. However, they were not at the end of their life facing God. They just saw him off in the distance. But they did see him and still denied him. So there is that. It may be light frequency to help. Maybe. I don't know. Yes, I remember you, Bo. Bo says, I sat in your live for a few hours once. We had a good conversation once before. Well, good. We can have one again. But, you know, I see a lot of people that come and go, and I never hear from them again. So it sometimes takes me a moment to recognize who somebody is. There. Aggravating. And Amanda says, welcome back, Bo. The Hello song is the best song ever, says Jack. Chemtrail says, in the beginning, there was water and void. God made a sound to develop material. I think there is something to this. Close. I'm going to clarify that because I want your understanding to be clear on it. In the beginning, there was nothing. And then God spoke. So the first thing that happened was sound, a frequency, a vibration, a musical note, if you will, triads probably. Something beautiful, something mathematically right. And that caused things to come into creation. Now, the earth did not start out void. It started out created to be inhabited and then was made void. The Bible starts at that point. So there's something before that occurred before the earth began the nature that it is now. So just to be clear, creation began with nothing, and then sound was the first thing. And yes, I think there is something to that. And I think that if properly excavated and understood, properly, what's the word I'm looking for? Where people do experiments. If people properly understand sound, I think they'll discover that it does a lot of things that they didn't know it did. Patty says, thumbs up. Mr. P says, Amanda, don't get mad. She gets even. Amanda says, LOL, John. And Bo says, personally, I think your chat might jump. Hang on. As it does. Personally, I think if someone gets mad over some silly little joke, I don't care if someone gets upset. Well, you should care because we're a family and we're not here to upset each other. And you're welcome to be part of that. But not if you're going to be trying to upset people. I can't have that. But I understand where you're coming from, too. And some jokes I let slide. Some I don't. And there's a reason for that. Because some jokes are inappropriate in a room full of ladies. And there happens to be a lot of ladies here tonight. Number one interest is making sure they feel comfortable being here. So keep that in mind. I'll take the ladies over somebody I don't know any day. Chemtrail says, it's okay, Jake. Hello, it's the best confrontation. I agree. And I'm not bashful at all. I'll jump right up in a stranger's face and say, hi. Bo says, later though, man. Keep doing you. Keep doing your thing. I will, buddy. Thank you for being here. Amy says, yay. Kim Trail says, wow, you're a ladies lover? Thank you, Jake. I am a ladies lover. I'm a ladies man, baby. I've got that 1965 sex appeal going on. Also, I don't like being rude. Bo says, I wasn't trying to offend anyone. That's understood, Bo, and I'm not saying you were. I'm just explaining to you why that message was deleted and why Amanda said what she said. And by the way, you're welcome here anytime. I don't kick people out unless they viciously insult somebody in this chat. Not even if they insult me, but you might get deleted, message deleted, retracted. But if you cross that line, you'll know about it. And Amanda says he is a true gentleman, Kim Trail. Thank you. EA says, hello, Abdullah. That don't mean I'm a pushover, though. I'm not. Amy Elizabeth says the frequency and vibrations have been explored for healing, and I forget what it's called. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and there have been some research and studies into it, but not enough. They don't know how to do it. They just know it's possible. When they figure it out, though, it's going to be amazing. Amanda says, hi, EA. And Amanda says, you're good, Bo. And by the way, it may be in their best interest not to figure it out because they make a lot of money treating cancers and things like that. Why would you want to kill the golden goose? Mr. P says, I've shared many times. I have faith we're going to get some more people to join the family here. Thank you, Mr. P, and that's what we're all here to do. And don't worry, it's going to grow. Trust me on that. I have spent a great deal of time building a foundation to build this show off of very slowly, 7 years to be exact. So it is not going to just falter by the wayside. It is going to continuously grow very slowly upwards and stay doing that. Notice the number of people that visit my show that watch the whole show 5 times a week. That's a growing number. Whereas a lot of other shows have in and outs. Mine tend to stay. And the reason for that is because I allow them the space to feel like they're part of something. And they are. Jack says, I need a wig, Jake. You want a wig? They got different colors. I don't need a wig. I have hair, baby. Kier Squirrel says, Kim Trail, I think rife machines are being used again. If you don't know what that is, look up a doctor by the name of Rife, who was from the 60s, who was doing some experiments on what he called a Rife machine. Nobody really knows how it works, but I believe he was working with the ether in some manner. They need to find the correct frequency for you. I don't know enough about them. Right. Gimmick says, Dino. Or Dino. Dino or Dino? What are you saying there, Gimmick? And hello. Chemtrail says, I'm still here only because of your friend, Walter Davis. Well, my friend Walter Davis is, in fact, my friend Walter Davis. And I'm glad you're here. But I hope that's not the only reason you're here. I hope you find something to enjoy here. Amanda says, Jack, you need a psychotherapist, not a wig. Or some cocaine. One or the other. Amanda says, hi, Gimmick B. Mr. P says, I think I got to find the right place to share the Bible study nights. I know people need it. I jumped, hang on. I know people need Bible study in their lives, Jake. Yes, they do. And if you want to find a good place to share that, anywhere sinners are is the place to be. I'm not looking to talk to people that are perfect because they don't need me. I'm looking to talk to people who are just like me. Maybe I can talk them out of it. Kim Trail says, I love the triad. What triad? Me, and me? Me, myself, and I? Gimmick B says, hi, Amanda. And Amy Elizabeth says, God created man, then woman. Woman speaks, man discovers earplugs. Yeah. Kim Trail says, yes, there was something before that, but I don't think it was nothing. We all came from nothing. No, it was nothing. Time, space, and matter did not exist, which means there was nothing there. God existed, and he's something, but nothing else existed. And when he put this place into existence, he spoke it into existence using vibrations and frequencies. That was the construct of the place we call space. Many, 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 many times throughout the Bible, it says that God stretched out the heavens. It repeats that a lot because that's exactly what's happening to the heavens, is stretching out. So they came from nothing and stretched out. And the thing I said that was before, I'm talking about Genesis 1:1. God created the heavens and the earth and all that. Before that, the earth was here. It was made void and without form. It says it became void and without form. It's not start out that way. In another place in the Bible, it says that God created the earth in the beginning to be inhabited, which means it was already fully formed. It's the way I read it anyway. What do you think? Curious Squirrel says, Chemtrail, have you looked into the Unified Healing Centers? If you are looking for options, it may be worth a little investigating. Search Unified Healing if you wish to know more. And Gimmick says, don't forget the sensitive man. How dare you, Gimmick B? Mr. P says, Amy, amen. And Kim Trail says, sound moves mountains. Sound can do just about anything. Foxman says, God made man and rested. God made woman and men have never rested since. Say he made men and then pulled the ladder up behind him, did he? Kim Trail says, we love each other, even though I was called a pagan a week ago. Well, pagan just means farmer, so it means of the dirt. So if you're of the dirt, then you are a pagan. Don't worry about that. I hadn't seen that guy since. Don't know where he's been, actually. He might be lurking in the back. I don't know. Amanda says, hi, Fox, again, I think. ... Yes, he's been here earlier. Kim Trail says, I'm very friendly. Yes, you are. And so am I, to a point. I am kind of prickly, but once you get to know me, that's part of my charm. A prickly old man. I'm an eruditic misanthrope. You're welcome. And I am an autodidactic eruditic misanthrope. You're welcome. Mr. P says, Jake, what do you do? Sorry. Jake, what do you what do you say to the people who say that Amen is an Egyptian word? I say, you're a moron. You have an equivocal misunderstanding of the word Amen. It is not an Egyptian word. You are conflating and confusing that with the word Amen-Ra. Different word. Sounds similar, means something different. It is a Hebrew word, and it means let it be so. Chemtrail says, you got that 2024 sex appeal. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I don't, but thank you. I'm very Tom Selleck-y. All I need is about 4 more feet and a Ferrari. When you're ugly, you got to be twice as cool. That's what Willie Nelson said, and I believe it. Chemtrail says, yep, you protected me the other night. True, gentlemen. I always endeavor to do so. I will never let ladies be slandered in my presence. He got that 1984 sex appeal. Ha, 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 says Mr. P. How right you are. How right you are. Foxman says, they have better cures for cancer than they let on. Oh, I know. Cancer is a big business. I think the majority of the things that people go through are money makers for the rich. And I think that's sad, but that is the way it is. Amanda says, LOL, he's got sex appeal, period. Might be a poor choice of words. Mr. P says, speaking of the stash. Chemtrail says, these frequency machines are expensive but real. I know there's something to it. I don't want to give any advice on it because I don't know anything about it. And I try not to talk about things I don't know anything about. Amanda says he's got that true man stash, LOL. Well, I hope so. I don't want a little lady mustache. Chemtrail says, my bass player has a machine and has finally asked me to come to his house and get a treatment. You have a bass player? That's awesome. I have a bass player too. Mine just gets stoned a lot. Chemtrail says, you're not ugly. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Amanda says, Chemtrail, Untethered live stream at gmail.com. No spaces, YouTube, spaces it. Oh, I missed one. I'm sorry. I guess my chat jumped. Let me go back up. I missed a lot. Hold on. I didn't even see my thing jump. I'm sorry. He's got that true man stash. Chemtrail, the bass player, got it. Mr. P says, Amanda, he sure does. Chemtrail says, yep, rifle machines. Amy Elizabeth says, watching William Shatner's new show, The Unexplained. Is it any good? I've seen it, but I hadn't watched it. Mr. P says, I meant 84 in the best way. 2024 is full of soft-ass chumps, right? Yeah, I don't have no frosted tips. Amanda says, right, John? And Chemtrail says, no, babe, I'm here for you, too. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Chemtrail says, I've spent the week looking for answers of Trump shooting. I have a friend who is a journalist, George Webb. Follow him. I'll go check him out. The Trump shooting was a cacophony of stupid people doing stupid things. They came from biting. I don't know what you're talking about. They came from biting. I don't know. Amy says, your voice is sounding better, Jake. Well, thank you. It is feeling a little better today. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. They come from nothing, says Chemtrails. Who is they, my love? I don't know what we're talking about. If you're talking about when I said about God creating the world from nothing, nothing was first and then he created the world. I was talking about God was there. Then he created the space in which we live. Then he created the host, which is all the spirits. I think that's what you're asking. I'm not sure. You might want to clarify that. Chemtrail says, wow, thank you. Jake is the sensitive man, says Chemtrail. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm a farmer and a rancher. Well, then you are a pagan. Linda Davis, hi, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Linda says, hi, all. Chemtrail says, oh, yeah, we got charm. Smiley face. Amanda says, hi, Linda, how are you, hon? And Linda says, still trying. Thanks, Amanda. Well, I'm glad you're trying. Trying is not dying. Amanda says, and little red shorts to be Tom Selleck. You have no idea what I'm wearing below this camera. Might be nothing. It might just be hanging out there. Nothing but a shirt. Chemtrail says, I wrote a song for the shooting. How can I send you the lyrics and the chords? You can email it to me. My email address is UntetheredLiveStream, all one word, UntetheredLiveStream @gmail.com. And Amanda says, keep your head up and blast through, Linda. Prayers. That's right. Grit your teeth, ball up your fist, and walk head first into anything that affronts you. You will win. Amy says, I can't remember if I took my last dose of antibiotics or not. Well, if it's your last dose, just go ahead and take it. You're not ugly. Nope, I'm not ugly. I am asymmetrically challenged. And there's my email address with no spaces. Colton Clay back in the house. Hey, what's up, Colton? Amanda says, hi, Colton. Patty Donahue says, Tom grew up and went to Blue Bloods. Tom Selleck went to Blue Bloods, yes. And I don't like that show. I mean, I suppose it's a good show, but I miss Tom. I miss, what was the character's name? Something Stone, remember that? He did a series of, like, investigator shows called Something Stone. Alex Stone, or I can't remember, Something Stone. And then I miss Tom Selleck in Magnum P.I. Amanda says, your chat jumped, Jake. Well, if it jumped, I wouldn't be able to read that. Colton Clay says, Amanda, are you still an pet? I don't know what you're trying to say there. She is the banhammer, so I'd watch your mouth if I were you, Colton Clay. Amanda says, you caught it, LOL. I found it. Amy says, 8-Ball, is Jake fake? 8-Ball says, most likely. Hilarious. Am I a what, Colton? Says Amanda. Colton says, Amanda banned that comment because it said a bad word. Don't say bad words. It's a smart move. Colton, this is a nice place. There are nice people here, and you're welcome to be here. But you're not going to be running the chat, and you're not going to be saying a bunch of nonsense, because I will boot you out of here. Period. If you can handle that, enjoy the conversation. Chemtrail says, yes, I had a bass player. I used to be in a band, but our lead guitarist died. Dang. I'm sorry to hear that. It's never good when a guitar player goes, fellow brother. fellow traveled man. I'm one of those. Amanda says, 8-Ball, is Jake the best? 8-Ball says, the outlook is good. Untethered pet. She's not a pet. She runs the show, Colton. Read the room, buddy. And that would be correct. I am Daddy Jake, and don't you forget it. That you capitalize it when you speak to me. Amanda says, I am definitely not a pet. I am the banhammer. Jake is a fake, says Colton Clay. Well, to those of you that asked the question, there he is. Somebody that thinks I'm fake. Do I smoke? Absolutely not, Colton. How dare you accuse me of such frivolous behavior? Smoking is really bad for you. Chemtrail says stupid people doing stupid things, right? 83% of my people love me. The rest of you can suck an egg, kiss my ass right where it looks like a fig. Colton says, cool, banhammer. Ooh, banhammer. I'm so scared. Colton, do you like being here, or are you just trying to make an ass of yourself? Listen to me now. Daddy's talking. If you think I'm wrong, go ask your mama. Amanda says, Colton, be good or I will boot you. You already know this. Chemtrail says, yes. Curious Squirrel says, hi, Linda Davis. Good to see you. And Chemtrail says, so God is one and all. Yes. He is everything. The Alpha and the Omega, the beginning, the end, the Aleph, the Tav, the A, the Z. Yes. Nate says, you might want to chill, Colton. Amanda's very relaxed, but she won't mess around with you. Right? Thank you, Nate. Colton says, look, I just learned my lesson. Moron. Chemtrail says, hello, Linda. Amanda says, number one, Colton. Colton says, so I will just come back next stream. No, you won't, because I can ban you permanently. Mr. P says, asymmetrically challenged. I like it. This is me. Look at my eyes. Amanda says, stop with the trolling shit. That's 2. Curious Squirrel says, I'm vertically challenged. Ooh, terrible. Colton says, it is so fun pissing Amanda off. Well, Amanda, remove Colton. That way you don't have to get pissed off anymore. Chemtrail says, hold your head up. Hold your head up. Hold your head up. I understand what that means. Believe it or not, I'm a ground looker too. Nate says, Colton, if you want to have good faith conversation, this is the place though. But don't be rude. Amanda is not joking at all. And Amanda says, I don't get pissed. I just banhammer you. Linda Davis says, I named my son after Tom Selleck. I spent the 8 months in bed watching Magnum P.I., and that's a fine name, Thomas. Or did you name him Selly? That would be weird. Muggy Juice, what's up? He says, do it, Amanda. Do it. Do it. Amanda says, hi, Muggy Juice. Mr. P says, I just watched Magnum P.I. today. Ha 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 ha. I love that show. And Monkey Juice says, hi, Amanda. I just showed. See? That ain't the way to do it. Linda says, hi, Curious Squirrel. And Amanda says, how about no, see? Gotta be better than that. Chemtrail says, bad words, bad words, bad words. What a badass, says Colton. He smokes. Mr. P says, yep, if you want to strengthen your understanding of God's Word, Bible study is on Sundays at 8 and Mondays at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Amen. Colton says, I do not care. Well, then you have no reason to be here. Bye-bye. I'm done with you. Chemtrail Warrior says, that's a cool story, Linda Davis. Rachel Floyd says, Colton, nobody cares that you don't care. And Chemtrail's like, suck an egg. Right where it looks like a fig. That's right. And Amanda says, I like the fig comment. Me too. Chemtrail says, I didn't like you at first, Jake. Remember? But love brought us together. Oh, that's sweet. Well, I understand full well that I'm an acquired taste. And I understand full well that it takes a special kind of person to get what I'm about. But once you get it, you got it. And there is no in between. Either you love me or you hate me. And don't duck with Amanda, says Chemtrail. Amy Elizabeth says, Colton, nah, 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 hey, hey, goodbye. Nah, 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 hey, hey, copyright. Chemtrail says, listen, Jake, we need to love our enemies. I do love my enemies. That don't mean I got to put up with them. I'd bend over backwards to save Colton out of a fire. But I wouldn't sit and listen to him talk. Amanda says, I think he left. Apparently not. We have to love those that hate us. That is true. Amanda says, see you, Colton. You've had your warnings. Chemtrail says, don't be done with ignorant peeps. Love, I'm not. Everybody gets a chance. That being said, I do not, will not, cannot, shall not cast my pearl before swine. I will not do it. It took 40 years for me to know what I know. And what I know is valuable. It's not cheap information. It's the goods. It's the good stuff. It's the je ne sais quoi. It is the creme de la creme. It's the first fruits. And I will not give it to people that don't deserve it. But I give everybody a chance. Amanda says he definitely won't be back, at least under that name. Deuces. Chemtrail says nobody liked me at first, or they overloved me, right? Nah, 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 nah. Hey, 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 Jake's band. Nah, 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 nah. Hey, 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 Jake's band. Amy says, good night. I'm working on a side job tomorrow for cash. Night. See y'all next time. Well, enjoy your cash money and have a great night. And I'm out of here too. I'm getting hoarse, so it's time to go. Amanda says, night, Amy. Hey, thank you guys so much for being here. God bless each and every one of you. I love the conversation tonight. I enjoy you all so much. I can't wait to do this tomorrow night for some Bible study right here on Untethered Live. Have a great night. God bless each and every one of you. And come see me again real soon. Thanks for watching. I can't leave without reading that chat. Dana says, I think the best strategy to deal with the trolls is to ignore them completely, not reading their comments, let alone giving them a minute on the air. I agree, Dana. God bless you. Now, Nate says, good night, boss man. Nate, God bless you, brother. Patty says, white power. Chemtrail says, so who deserves the third, fourth chance? I don't give third chances. Amanda says, good night. See y'all tomorrow. Mr. P says, good night. All. I love you all. You're definitely a positive point in my day. A sign of love is forgiveness. I do forgive, but I don't forget. Good night.